Could Arsenal be about to make another signing from their rivals of Chelsea? Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome to another video, and today's video is going to centre around the curious story that is developing regarding Noni Madueke at Chelsea. The winger seems to be, seems to have a lot of speculation surrounding him right now, and he seems to be attracting a lot of interest from certain clubs. One club in particular that is obviously catching the eye of many is that of Arsenal Football Club, who, if reports are to be believed, have opened and began initial negotiations with Chelsea over potentially signing the England international this summer. We're going to be talking about this potential transfer story. We're going to be talking about Arsenal, Madueke, and everything else in between. But before we go any further discussing all of that and much more, I would like to remind you all to please like the video and also subscribe if you are new. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. I also encourage you all to get involved in the comment section down below. Use and abuse that section, people, and talk to me on this very intriguing topic of conversation. Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling down below about this potential transfer story. And without further ado, we're going to get on with the conversation ourselves. We're talking Arsenal, we're talking Noni Madueke, and an intriguing transfer that could be on the cards this transfer window. Look, if reports are to be believed, then Arsenal are seriously looking at Madueke and keeping him on their radar. Now, it is no secret, of course, that when Bukayo Saka is injured, that kind of right-wing position is very curious as to who will fill that huge void that Saka does leave behind him if or when he does get injured, suspended, or just needs a rest in general. This past season, of course, young kid Ethan Nwaneri has obviously filled in that gap and has done pretty well. But most Arsenal fans say that he's better through the middle, which, if this report is to be believed, then maybe Arsenal are looking for a right winger. We already know that they've been trying to look at Brian Mbeumo as well, but now it seems that he's going to Manchester United. That seems to have laid that story to rest there. So it does seem like a right winger to back up Bukayo Saka's on the cards, and Nwaneri may actually be the understudy to a Martin Odegaard, if that is to be all believed. But we've heard these kinds of stories before, haven't we? And Arsenal looking to try and sign a Chelsea player who may fall out of favour a little bit, may not have quite reached the potential that he once showed. Let's face it, they've had a history of this. David Luiz, Petr Cech, even more recently with the likes of course, Kai Havertz, and signing Raheem Sterling on loan last season. And now it seems there is another Chelsea player in the wings potentially on their radar in the form of Noni Madueke. If reports are to be believed, then initial discussions have already begun between the clubs, and it's said that maybe personal terms won't be so much of an issue, but at the same time it's all about whether or not the clubs can agree a fee. And with Chelsea right now seemingly asking for somewhere in the region of £50 million, Arsenal are seemingly not willing to maybe go that high for a player who, let's be honest and let's be real, would be a backup to Bukayo Saka and nothing more. It begs the question, why are they going for Madueke? Why? Let's just ask ourselves why. And it's not because he's not a terrible. He's a decent player. He's a decent player. He's 23 years of age, I believe. He's 23 years of age, so he's still got a lot of room to grow. There's a lot of experience there to gain. There's a lot more room to evolve his game and all of that stuff, right? So the potential is certainly there. There is something for the here and now. There is some raw talent and raw quality there in terms of, you know, his dribbling and the way that he can take a man on and all of that kind of stuff from that right wing position, and he can cut inside and he can cause some havoc there. But his versatility is not going to be used to the best of its ability. He's not really going to be challenging the left wing position of like a Gabriel Martinelli or a Leandro Trossard as prime examples. He's not really going to be playing up front, unless of course they have another injury crisis like they did this past season. He's not really going to be challenging in the number 10 role either. So it really would be a case of you're buying Madueke purely for the right-hand side, where he is never going to challenge Bukayo Saka. He's just going to be the guy to fill in for Saka when Saka is either injured or suspended, and, you know, hopefully that never happens, but of course these things do happen every so often. Or if Saka needs a rest, or if there's some big game on the horizon that Arsenal needs Saka fully fit and firing and ready for, Madueke will jump in to cover for Saka's absence. He's not going to challenge. He's not going to be stiff competition for Saka to that right wing position. He's purely being brought in as backup. That is it. That is all. So, for somewhere in the region of 50 million, you probably would expect Arsenal to maybe look elsewhere if they are to seriously look for a right winger that is to be backup to Saka. Now, of course, Nwaneri can obviously fill that role, and to be honest with you, he has obviously a lot more potential and I think a higher ceiling than what Madueke does. If I was Chelsea, if Arsenal offered me the 50 million that I'm wanting, I'm absolutely snapping your hand off. And again, it's nothing to do with the way that Madueke is a bad player. He's a decent, serviceable player. It's just when you consider that Chelsea are maybe looking to move things on, maybe looking to keep the wheels spinning, that kind of thing, of a rotating door of transfers in and out, and obviously looking to maybe progress and continue to grow, Madueke may not be their particular choice. So it's understandable as to why they are maybe looking to somewhat move him on. This past season, if we look at his stats, he's had 43 appearances in all competitions, including, of course, you know, the Premier League, the Conference League, the qualifiers for the Conference League, the FA Cup and the EFL Cup. He has managed to score 11 goals in all competitions, assisting 5 times, and of course 7 of those goals and 4 of those assists all came in the Premier League. So he's got a total of 11 goal contributions in the Premier League in 32 appearances. Now, overall, they're not exactly terrible stats, especially for a Chelsea side who are, you know, when you put into context their season, who they are, what they have. It's not terrible by any stretch of the imagination. I know 3 of those 7 goals did come in one game. He did score a hat-trick in, I can't remember who it was now. Who was the hat-trick for? Bear with me 1 second and I will find it, hopefully. Second game of the season against Wolves. He scored a hat-trick. So, yeah, they're not bad when you look overall, but when you apply context to it, you can maybe look at it and go, maybe not the best. Could he be worthwhile in chipping in every so often for Saka? Maybe. Would he actually be okay with that? Maybe not. But I'm just questioning Arsenal. I'm just questioning why they would want to go through with this. Why they would want to go through another Chelsea player when they need ready-made here and now players. This is what I'm saying about the whole Sesko deal. When Gyökeres is right there for the taking, a ready-made here and now player, why would you once again go for another project player in Sesko? These project players are okay if you're in mediocrity and you're trying to punch upwards. But this is an Arsenal side that are more than ready now of winning the Premier League with about 2 or 3 major additions that are ready for the here and now, add experience, add quality, and a know-how to win, and can obviously get you out of a deep hole in certain situations where you need someone to step up and take the game by the scruff of the neck and win these kinds of games. The likes of Rodrigo and Gyökeres are those players, in my personal opinion. And of course, whilst the door's not completely shut on those, and we may be sat here in several weeks' time saying, you know what, Arsenal made the right decision in signing Gyökeres, Arsenal made the right decision in managing to tempt Rodrigo out of Real Madrid. This kind of signing right here, with all due respect to Madueke, like I say, as decent as he is, it just it wouldn't excite me if I was an Arsenal fan. It wouldn't move me if I was an Arsenal fan. And I'd be looking at the price as well and thinking, surely we could have used that money and better spend it elsewhere. Surely we could have used that money towards maybe paying more for Rodrigo, paying more for this player or that player, or, you know, maybe signing another centre mid to kind of cover for the departure of Thomas Partey, for example, if that is to obviously materialise and fully materialise. I'm just curious as to what the overall approach is from Arsenal on this. I'm just curious as to know, even know what Arsenal fans think about this. Like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you guys see something more in Madueke than I don't. I don't know. I'm very curious to find out what you guys are thinking and feeling about this Madueke potential transfer. Do you think he will be a good addition to this Arsenal side? Do you think he could be good backup? Because that's all he will be, in my opinion, backup. He won't be challenging Saka. He won't be moving position to the left or to the centre. He's purely being brought in for backup for big money that I think could be better spent elsewhere. Or at least, if you are going to go for a right winger, go for someone who may at first be second fiddle to Saka, but could really keep him on his toes and maybe push him to obviously be better, be a better player and continue to grow, continue to evolve and properly challenge him for his position, so that if Saka, for whatever reason, does have a bit of a sticky patch in which he drops off a few levels, has a bit of a bad run of form for whatever reason, then there's someone there to capitalise. There's someone there that, if he's not exactly firing all cylinders in the game, he could come on and change the game. Madueke, for me, not really that much of a game changer, in all honesty. He could provide something a little different, but someone to take the game by the scruff of the neck, as I mentioned earlier, I don't necessarily resonate that kind of quality and that kind of attribute with a Noni Madueke, with all due respect. But hey, maybe I'm wrong on this. Maybe you guys have seen something that I don't. Maybe you guys have got a completely different opinion, and that's completely fine. Do drop it down below in the comments section, your thoughts, comments, opinions, predictions, feelings, because after all of these things are the opinions of this guy. I want to know what you guys think on this story. Madueke to Arsenal, is that a yes from you guys? Is that a no from you guys? Let me know what you guys are thinking and feeling down below in the comments section. Otherwise, hit the like button on the way out if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you are new or want to see more content like this. Both things will always and forever be greatly appreciated. And as always, thank you all so much for watching and listening. Thank you all for your continued or brand new support to the channel. Really does mean a lot to me, guys. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't thank you enough. And it'll always be appreciated and never taken for granted. So you guys are absolutely awesome. I've been Fletch. This has been another Fletch Talks video. I will see and speak with you all again soon in another video or live stream or whatever it may be. Cheers, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll speak to you again very, very soon.